Hi, and welcome to the Self-Assignment Photo Challenge. The Self-Assignment Photo Challenge primary goal was to inspire you to take more photos with subjects that may be outside your comfort zone. Now you might be thinking with words like assignment and challenge might be intimidating. Don't panic. By exploring new techniques and equipment choices, you will increase your photography skills. The self-assignments aren't a contest or a judged event, it's an opportunity to share and inspire with each other. This is the first assignment in a series of hopefully many assignments that are coming up. This assignment was Things on the Ground. I am your lovable photo Dono. First meeting of the assignment challenge with the Bradenton Photo Group over here on MeetUp. If you're on MeetUp, check out the pages here at Lowlight Photo Group or at the Bradenton Photo Group, and you can join us there. You'll see some of the pictures for some of the things that we were trying to accomplish. These are all pictures that we shot during this particular period of time, which was basically about 4 weeks before this. Just to get things rolling, here is a couple sample photos of things that I sent out for people to kind of take a look at and see what they can do. The meeting was recorded on April 5th at 6:30, and yeah, enjoy, see what you think, let me know, leave comments in the section below. Without further ado, I'll bring you into the meeting. Well, thank you both for joining me. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it.
That's the plan.
This is my first attempt to try to, well, not my first attempt, but I'm trying to see what we can kind of build up and move on through, like maybe once a month have like some sort of photo assignment where we go out and we shoot some stuff and things like that. This is something I do all the time, and I got kind of inspired when Jeff Leinbach was doing his presentation. So I'm trying to make it kind of like a regular thing. And I didn't quite get it working on MeetUp the first time, so I'm trying it again. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, right now there's just the three of us, and other than just us, we'll wait just another tick or two and see if anybody else shows up. But what I'll do is I'll upload any videos that I do during these self-assignments up to my YouTube channel over on under Photo Dono, Photodono. So you can always watch them from there too if you want to. Now, did you guys have any questions about the self-assignment stuff?
No, I think it's a really good idea. Cool. Just kind of makes you start thinking about stuff that you wouldn't normally think about doing.
Well, yeah, that was the whole idea of that, being able to go out there and just start shooting some stuff. Things like that.
I had good intentions when I got the assignment, but then I forgot about it until the calendar told me yesterday, so I didn't get anything sent in. I got your advertisement for next time, so maybe I'll do better.
Well, because usually Glidden chimes in too for stuff like this, but I don't see him. He might be otherwise occupied as far as that goes. But we had a few people sign in, but they said they were interested in doing it. But I don't see anybody else popping in yet. Yeah, just us three. That's fine. All right. Minimize this for a second. There we go. All right. So, as I said before, like I said, the primary goal for this is to inspire you to take more photos with the subject that may be kind of outside your comfort zone. So, for instance, shooting pictures of the ground. Well, normally that's one you just throw away. And so I'm always out going out there. I'm trying something different. Sometimes I shoot pictures of the ground just to get my my workflow going. So I look for interesting compositions on the ground. Again, it's more of an abstract type of thing, but I'm always looking for something that's kind of unique and something that's kind of different, something that, if you're not paying attention to. It also gets me looking around to various, a variety of different other things, give me a different perspective on how I need to look at stuff. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it's just happenstance. Sometimes I'm walking along and I'm like every other 10 feet, I'm taking pictures. Now, this particular time, I didn't really get out as much as I would like. I got a couple of shots out there. I mainly took a vacation, so I tried to take some out there, but I got some that I thought I liked. I already posed to those, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that.
Where were you at, Tom?
I went to I went to a couple different places, but the primary one I went to was Great Falls up in Virginia and Maryland. That national park up there. So that was a lot of fun. I mainly was going up there to spend some time with my son, but also wanted to get some landscape photos for the landscape class that I'm teaching tomorrow, and also get a few other things for some other classes, some other pictures. Because Florida is as wonderful as it is. Sometimes it gets kind of boring after you've seen it in the 10th time you've taught the landscape class.
Yeah.
So I try to mix them up a little bit on there. So
Yeah, not much as far as rock formations down here in Florida.
yeah, well, there's that too. But there are some. You just got to pay attention to where they are. That's the main thing. But mainly it's just limestone, things like that. So yeah, for the next one, I don't know if you guys saw it yet or not. I already posted it, and I think I got a little better handle on how to schedule these things. I thought I was supposed to have to schedule it for the amount of time that we were going to do it, but I said it didn't seem to work out that well. And if I wanted to edit, it wouldn't let me edit the meetup. So I made the second one just like a deadline date. So it'll be like the first Monday of the month, and I'm going to try to keep doing this as long as everyone's interested in doing this from the first Monday of the month. And then we can always meet around 6:30, and we can go over some of the pictures we shot. My goal is to record each and every session of these things and hopefully make them a live event if at all possible, depending upon technical challenges. But I didn't have time to set up the studio, so we're stuck with my webcam right now, which you guys may not notice it, but for me, I can see the quality is not to my liking. I look kind of soft. Well, no, actually, I looks kind of good because I am kind of soft and blurry around the edges, so you can't really see all the wrinkles. So that kind of works out. So, anyway, let's go to. The second one's about light and lines and stuff like that. Now, I also some of you know I moderate the low light group, but really it's nothing to do with any of that stuff. It's just basically what I want you to do is to just try to find something kind of unique. I posted an example up of some trees looking up into the canopy for lines and light and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be cars streaming by or anything like that. It should be something where you guys can go out, just get hopefully a little bit creative with dealing with lines and light, and hopefully they'll get your juices going. We got a whole month to shoot, so should be pretty good. I think we got 5 weeks in April almost, so it's not too bad. I know at least I know I got 3 Fridays in April, so or no, I got 3 paydays in April, so
That's a good sign.
so we know we got a few more, so we got some more time going on there. So yeah.
Well, the timing on that is pretty good because the steel wool night shoot is next week.
Yeah, well, that's what I was planning on is doing. I thought that was a good way to tie it in. For anybody who's doing that, they can take advantage of doing it that way too.
Yeah.
Also, too, a reporter talked to me not too long ago, and so hopefully we'll get a little more feedback there from that group as well too. So from the article. So I have no idea when it's going out though.
From where?
The Herald Tribune.
Yeah.
Reporter contact. They're looking for fun things to do during the summer. I said, well, she called me, so I said, well, we're doing this, and at least I'm doing this, and see how it goes. All right, Richard, are you in the low light group too as well, or are you just with the Bradenton photo group?
No, I'm not in the low light group.
Okay.
I've been on some of your field trips, but other than that, I'm not in any of your groups.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure I didn't. I don't want it to be like I don't want you to feel like left out.
Okay, I won't feel left out.
Yeah, but so there's only 3 of us here, so I want to make sure everyone gets their say in there and stuff. Well, cool. Well, all right. Well, without further ado, I guess unless somebody else got any questions they'd like to ask me, anything camera related, photo related, now's a good time to ask me. I always try to do with these live with photojournalists like a way you can always ask me anything about photography. It doesn't mean I know the answer. It just means that if you want to, you could ask me anything about it. So I'm going to pull up the screen from MeetUp if I can get it to operate. MeetUp seems to be doing some funky things today. So let's try this one more time, Donovan. There we go. I've been having some issues with Meetup today, so I'm not quite sure what the dealio is. All right. Well, we don't care about that. We're not doing that. Let's close this out. Sorry for the self-talking there. Just trying to make sure I'm on the right
It's
pages here. All right. Let's see. Where are we going? So zoom. There we go. Let's try to share screen again. Let's go to this and let's share this. Share. All right, so you should be seeing the Meetup page here. So now, did you guys like being able to put like the all that little miscellaneous metadata? You know, the shutter, aperture, all that fun stuff. I mean, does you think that's important to doing these things? You think
I
this will help
found
Yes.
you out?
I found when you do the add photos here, it limits the amount of characters that you can use. But if you go back in and edit the capture, it will let you put up to like 255 characters.
Yeah, exactly. The caption is like a very small, like 80, 90 characters, something like that.
But if you go back in and edit it, it lets you put in whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. So, but do you like the idea of being able to add this type of data into it? You think this
Uh,
would help you out?
yeah, I actually just put mine on the picture, on that picture.
Yeah, I saw that guy, and I thought, man, he looks almost good enough to eat.
He was right outside my door.
Oh my.
They're coming up. They're coming up the state. They're crawling up there.
Yeah. I see him every once in a while. We've got a pond on our property,
Yeah.
and every once in a while we see them show up. But he wasn't afraid of me. He just let me come right up and take whatever pictures I wanted.
That's cool. The contemporary lens does a pretty good job with overall sharpness and clarity. I really love that glass. It's an
Yeah,
amazing. It's an amazing piece of glass overall.
that's actually the first time I'd ever used that lens. I just bought it.
That's cool. So how hard was it to get it down to the ground to shoot?
Not too bad. With the Z5 and the tilt screen,
Right.
it's a lot easier.
That's cool. That's nice. You get a nice, really soft background. It really stands out really nice.
Yeah, those are some reeds in the lake in the background.
I always think of Ray Harryhausen in the old sci-fi films, where they would get these guys and stick other things on top of them.
Yeah,
Those poor lizards. So yeah, that's really cool. I love the colors on that thing. It's just you forget how much color is on. They're not just green or monochromatic and stuff.
yeah, and I have no Photoshop skills at all, so I couldn't do any. I didn't process this at all. It's just
Oh, that's fine.
that's the way it came.
Yeah. My only thing is, if you can, just if you, next time is try to bring down the highlights just a tad bit, but that's just being nitpicky. I think that's a nice shot straight from the camera.
Yeah, if you take the highlights down, that would remove some of the white parts. Is
Yeah.
that what that would do?
Yeah, well, if you think it's just a smidge, because if you look at the right around his face and stuff, the eye
Uh-huh.
is the most important thing. But right around the head, and I'm pointing at my screen. Right
Yeah, if
around
you were
his head,
watching.
it
Yeah.
it kind of distracts from the eyeball a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. If you can kind of burn and dodge in that area, I think that would help bring it out.
Okay.
Also, the other trick to do is also to uh, kind of not oversaturate, but saturate the eye just a little bit, and that gives a little bit more pop, and that way it kind of stands out from the rest of it. Because the eye is because everything else leads to the head,
Right.
to the critter. So that's the main thing is when you're trying to do stuff like that. But overall, I mean, again, like I said, that's just being nitpicky. That's a lizard to love. It's like
How how
Nope. Uh, Richard had a question, but I'm not sure where he went. I think
There he
there
is.
you are. Did you have a question, Richard?
Yes. How would you saturate your eyes? Would you actually use saturation, or would you use levels or something else?
Well, what I would this would be me and my meager Photoshop skills. I would just basically take a select tool, get the eye, and then I would. If I'm in Photoshop, what I would do is I would then uh, just make a layer from that selection, and then just saturate that, and then kind of blend it as much as I can around the edges and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be enough to bring out some of that yellow and that brown right there in his eyeball. But that's just like I said, a lizard in love, man. You know what I mean? I mean, technically, he's not as sharp on the eyeball, but how often are you going to look that close at him?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I get this thing to do what it's supposed to. Go to the next picture here. There we go. Cool beans. You know what kind of critter that is? Besides, I keep calling him chicken, so I know they're not chicken, but
I have no idea.
because it looks to me like some sort of sandpiper, but I could be wrong.
I think that might be what it is. There were a ton of them, and they were just running around eating stuff out of the sand there.
Yeah, probably the coquina shells and stuff like that. Little critters they find. That's really cool. Now, what made you choose to use the hole in right there in that?
It just kind of drew my eye to that area. There were actually these little birds all over the place, but this had the most unique looking ground.
Right. Add a nice little bit of feature to it.
Yeah.
Did you try any other kind of crops and stuff like that?
No, I didn't actually. I like I said, my Photoshop skills suck. So that is one of the next things that I need to spend some time learning.
Yeah, that's cool. Just to let you know, we're going to be. I keep. We're going to be doing some sort of weekly sessions with Photoshop with the store, but that's down the road. I'm still trying to work out some of the details. But if you got any questions between now and then, you're always more than welcome to ask me. I'll be glad to help you out. It's not a problem. Like I said, my Photoshop skills they're compared to our graphic designers, they're okay, but they do it all the time, so they're a lot more effective with their methodology.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next guy. Let's see who else dropped off stuff. Let's see. Oh, that would be me. Let's see this one. Let's see who's this. Oh, this is UPM, Peter. All right, cool.
Yeah, and this one I was trying to take pictures of these small flowers, and when I was looking through the photographs, I found this spider. Like I didn't even see him when I was taking pictures.
Yeah. Just a little bit of motion blur with him.
Yeah, and I wish it was a little bit better focus. If I'd have known he was there, I would have spent more time focusing on him.
Why maybe not motion blur? Maybe it's just yeah.
It's pretty fast shutter speed.
Yeah, that was. So it looks like the focus is just off a little bit.
Yeah, I think
It
the
looks
focus,
like it's right around here is where
Yeah.
we're kind of focusing.
Yeah,
So it's just outside the depth of fieldish area. That's the trouble when you're shooting close up stuff is trying to get that focus to lock on.
yeah,
Sometimes I'll shoot it wide, and that way I'll know I got the focus, and then I'll just crop into it later on, and work with it that way.
yeah, and it wasn't a macro lens either, so
Right.
trying to get focused, a foot away. I think that 50 millimeter lens has like I don't know, probably a 2 foot minimum focusing distance, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 50 millimeter lens is pretty good. I like the 50 millimeter lens a lot because it gets you. It's a nice little versatile lens. Olympus has something similar to the 25, which I like, and does a really good job of getting close up. It's what it puts a nice little prime lens because it's nice and sharp. But yeah, if you're off with a little bit on that depth of field, if you're really shooting the 1.8 or the 2.8 version, it just gets to be kind of, I was practicing with some of the settings on my camera up at the because I didn't bring my neutral density filter up to Great Falls, and what I did was I was using the composite feature where you can make a 50 megapixel picture, but nothing should be moving in the picture when you shoot it, but the water was moving. So I figured, well, let's see what that does and see if it creates any kind of unique motion blur effects. And it did. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I was like, well, I'll have to remember that for next time when I don't have my neutral density filter. And try
Yeah.
it out. That's really cool. I found this one on a road stop, but just when I started to announce this thing, I thought this was kind of cool because it was like, a flower that was just, a flower leaf that was just sitting on the ground. It looked like it had been grilled.
Yeah.
Now this is a crop version. Well, this is a crop version of this guy. I cropped it down a little bit more. The picture was this is probably about a third of the picture right here. Because I couldn't, I forget which lens. I think I wrote it down there. I forget what it was now. It was my 75 to 300. So I think it's 75 millimeters when I shot this thing. But anyway, I cropped it down quite a bit because I really thought that was what the deal was on that. Because I thought, there we go, that's the picture. It's not as sharp as I would have liked it to be, but it's going to be as sharp as it's going to be for what it is.
I like the patterns in it.
Yeah.
The leaf with the stuff going across the top.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out really well. And like I said, I was very happy with the results of it. Now I did, like I usually do in my post production, I kind of muck around with a little bit of the coloring a little bit, but to make it a little bit more of contrast, add to tweak the saturation just a little bit. You can see sometimes it gets a little bit too much, like over there and there, but it's not too bad, and it worked out pretty well, I thought. Oops. There we go. So the next one. Now the next one, I was actually trying to show my son how to do this picture because I was because he was playing around with because I had two camera bodies with me, so he was playing around, and I was trying to tell him, I says, "What you want to do is you want to make it look kind of like a mountain," and I was trying to explain it to him. So I said, "Well, you get down on the ground and you just kind of shoot and look, and try to create like a little mountain range." And my end goal was to eventually put clouds behind here, so that would seal the effect. But it would have been really cool if I was able to get close to the ground and have clouds in the background anyway. The clouds don't have to be sharp; they could be soft as far as I'm concerned. But that kind of worked because that's I was kind of like playing around with that. I think the depth of field's a little bit too shallow, but it's not too bad. I tend to shoot things. I tend to shoot a lot of f2.8 stuff. But if I'm really thinking about it, I probably should have shot it around f8, and this would have been a little bit sharper. And I think that would have been a little bit more sealing the deal as far as that goes. But it's not too bad. And it works for me. I kind of like the way the ridge line works and how it kind of mimics the soft white line behind it. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it's interesting. It'd be different, quite a bit different if you put new clouds on it.
I know. Like I said, I was at Great Falls, and I'm looking for and I shot a few other things on the ground, but for me, the rocks were the most interesting part of everything else, and I was just trying to dig into the rocks as much as I could. What I
like the light on the rocks where you have bright on the right hand side, and then the darker part to me is the center focus. And then on the left, that worked out well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it needs a little more edit work, bring down some of this stuff. I was kind of worried. I didn't want to lose too much detail of the pores of the rocks, But this is pretty much it. I did crop the picture a little bit, but not by much.
What if you would have used a fill light to try to lighten that darker area?
Yeah, I could have, but I didn't think about it, or was just too lazy to grab the flash. Did I have the flash with me? I didn't have the flash with me. I left it back in the hotel room. I did bring it, but I didn't use it as much. Now this one is I just thought this was really kind of cool because it looks like to me like a mountain edifice with a little bit of growing some stuff growing along the side. It's actually a tree, and it just the way the trees been worn and everything else. I thought it worked out pretty good. I'm gonna shoot the 12 to 42.8 again is what I
That
shot with this one.
it does look like rock.
Yeah, I know, but
But
it's
that was
actually
my thought, is rock with grass growing
yeah.
in it.
Well, I just basically got
Green
low
going.
low to the ground for the tree, and I couldn't quite bend over too far, but my son's got one I think a little bit better close to the ground because he's a lot more bendy. He's 16.
That's the advantage of age. We don't bend as much.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying. We're in the car, and he's like trying to put his leg behind his head. I'm like going, man, you're just showing off now. So the idea is, I just love this line that was going through there, this little green tuft that was peeking out there. I did this one in black and white, and I kind of going back and forth between this one and the black and white one, but it worked out pretty well for me, and I thought it was, again, it's kind of flat, but again, that works again. At least for me, it works for me anyway. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, I like this. I'd be tempted to move the photo a little bit to the right so I have a little more breathing room beside that plant. Other than that, I think it's great. I wouldn't go black and white. I like black and white. Green's the center focus.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, thanks. Yeah, like I said, there's no right or wrong answers to any of this stuff. This was just like
Sure.
me trying to get out there and try to. I mean, I've got other ground pictures from like that I do all the time, but this is the stuff that I just shot recently. So I figured, warts and all, this is it.
Mhm.
And I try,
That's good.
and I really tried to do stuff that I really wouldn't normally do. And I'm trying to get more to the ground. Because usually the stuff I try to do is like more macro of the ground. So I tried not to. I tried to make it look like something that it wasn't. Like the flower would look like it was on a grill. The this would look like it was mountains or some other weird kind of effect of the whole thing. At least that was the idea behind that. And so there's all 6 pictures that got submitted.
Hopefully there'll be more next time.
Well, hopefully there'll be more next time. Well, if you want, if you think next time you think this would be more helpful if I put like I do I show how I edit some of the pictures together for the next one. You think that might help you both out?
Nope, that'd be good.
Yeah.
So I can do something like that. I can put something together, or at least have most of the elements put together, like save the document in Photoshop, and that way you can kind of see some of the things.
And maybe you can
Right.
show how you shot it and then what you did to
Yeah,
process it.
yeah, exactly. So I might do something like that for the next one. I've done that before. I've tried to do them live, like live edits and stuff, but my computer can't keep up with the graphics. It starts to slow down. The next thing you know, there's like people miss because the screen goes blank on them on the software end.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, that doesn't help anybody out. So, but now we got a couple of field trips that are coming up that you might be interested in. One of them is on the schedule right now. We're going to Burring Owls down in Cape Coral. So I don't know if you guys have signed up for that. But coming in the next 4 to 5, maybe towards the end of this week, or maybe in the beginning of next week, I'll have about maybe 2 or 3 more field trips posted on there. And we're going to be going to, around here, we're going to Palmisola, Botanical Gardens. That's a nice place to go
Oh.
shoot. Have you guys been there before?
No.
If you guys are in Bradenton, you can go check it out anytime. But it's a nice little place. But it's getting closer to spring. I'm thinking like towards the end of April-ish, maybe May, beginning of May type of thing. We'll go out there on a Sunday morning and go out shoot some pictures. I also want to go back out to Bach Tower because that was a lot of fun. And
I'd
again,
like
of
to do
course,
that.
it'll be around May again for that type of thing. It's probably going to be on a Sunday again because Sunday's a little bit easier for me to get out there to do that stuff.
What's the name of the botanical garden you mentioned?
It's called Palmisola Botanical Gardens. It's near. Oh my God! Now my brain's just. My brain just did a brain fart. I
Yeah.
can't remember the name now. God bless.
Is it in
Robinson's
Manatee?
Preserve. It's near Robinson's Preserve. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. I know who you mean.
Yeah. So it's not. It's the north entrance, not the new south entrance they built. So if you go to the north entrance before you get there, on I think it's Road 99th Street, it's off to the left. It's a very small little place in comparison to Selby Gardens or Bok Tower Gardens or something like that. But it's kind of a nice little place to kind of hang out. And again, they don't have any criteria for when you come with your camera gear, so you can bring a tripod. You can bring whatever you want as long as you don't interfere with anybody else out there. Other wedding photographers use the place, or I should say wedding, but other photographers use it for shooting weddings, portraits, things like that. It's got some interesting, features as far as that goes. I either like going out there early in the morning or I like going there right before getting coursed towards the golden hour. But I think they close before the golden hour hits, so it'd have to be early in the morning, which would be after golden hour. But at least we get that early morning light that might be interesting. Hopefully, it'll be kind of diffused day too, so that'll help out. Plus, also too, the bees should be out and a few other things. Hopefully, some butterflies. Selby Gardens has usually got some really good results for butterflies if you guys are interested in that. And there's a really great butterfly botanical place out in Gainesville. And I've been thinking about doing a field trip out to there. But I think that might be like a multi-day thing where if people wanted to join me out, there's a place called Devil's Mill Hopper. It's a sinkhole in the middle of Gainesville, which I thought was
I used to live right next to that.
Yeah, that is really cool. And that's all, it's not, you have to walk down, which is the easy part. It's getting back up.
Walking up is the hard part. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I was there and I'm doing some setup and I had a tripod on the deck on the bottom. And there's people jogging up and down on the steps. So I had to wait for the joggers to get far enough away so I could actually get a shot. Because the light it was done raining. So there was some water coming down there. And of course it's really dim. Well, not dim, but it's diffused lighting. And so I didn't want to get any motion blur on the shot. Let's see what else. Other than I also got the the butterfly botanical gardens over there near the university, which I've been to once and I'd like to go back again. So, yeah. Is there anything else you guys would like to see me to try to snag this year before, or any other things you'd like me to talk about next time to see if I can help you out besides the editing?
Not right now. I'll try and get you some pictures next time.
Well, not a problem. I'm sure hopefully we'll get a few more. People tend to like dealing things with, especially after the steel wool. There should be some interesting pictures of that particular event. And depending, we'll probably do that again later on in the year too. We'll see how that goes. We try to do it at least once or twice a year for that stuff. It depends on Dave's schedule because Dave's kind of he's the David Lee's the kind of like the band leader for all this stuff. So yeah, he does this quite a bit, and he's usually pretty good about that safety with all the safety and stuff. All right, well, I'm going to keep it short today because, like I said, only a couple pictures. Unless there's anybody else to like to do something else, or if you just want to chit chat.
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. As I said, I'll post this on my YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and just type in Photo Dono with the letter F, you'll see it there. I'll post the link through MeetUp as well too. So if anybody wants to check it out. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you.
I hope you guys. I really appreciate the fact that we got at least a start to this, and hopefully it'll keep the ball rolling.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
The topic is a wide open theme to shoot and see from different perspective. People were instructed to tackle it any way they felt comfortable with it. It was all up to them. Now, the first photo assignment here, we've only had 2 participants with this particular one. I'm hoping we'll have a few more for the next one. Here is a slideshow of some of the photos that were submitted before the meeting started. Some of the MeetUp members submitted some photos after the meeting, so I've included them here as well. Enjoy! self-assignment photo challenges are going to meet on the first Monday of every month, and we're going to explore different challenges and different topics and different ways to hopefully stretch and share our creativity. I look forward to seeing everybody's results. Please be safe, be well, and of course keep taking photos. Check on the links below for the links to the MeetUp page for the next self-assignment photo challenge.